Why are people so excited about this? Greetings, Azeroth. Hello. 2024 is underway, and it's a big year for WoW as the game reaches 20-year anniversary. So think 20 years ago, Facebook launched, MySpace was cool, and many of us were playing a Nintendo DS and a PlayStation Portable. Respect the PSP, baby. Friends aired its final episode, and Lost delivered its first. And that same year, friends, family, and co-workers started playing a game called WoW. Is that timeline correct? I could have swore... Oh, God. Is that when Friends finished? Jesus Christ, that show's old. It fills my heart that Azeroth has come home to so many different types of people and players around the globe who have shared memorable moments these past 2 decades. Hugs as Morpheus cried in Matrix Reloaded. But we are still here. I'm glad I chose this rabbit hole and have never regretted how deep it goes. WoW is my wonderland. Who's written this? Who's writing? Oh, it's Holly. Oh, sick. Excellent. Yeah. We love Holly. Holly's Biss. Holly Biss talk to. She's a genuine fan. We still don't know what this is, right? On the 10th... A pirate event? I don't know. Let's see. The 2024 roadmap then. Yes, we've got Kata Classic coming. Level 6 Season of Discovery Season 3. Or Season 4 that'll be, actually. Hardcore is immediately after the Cataclysm Classic Beta. But this is also going to overlap with the War Within Alpha. God, they have a lot of content coming this year. A hell of a lot of content. Thinking about the year ahead and our roadmaps we remain committed to, we want to share with you 3 things we're focused on as a dev team. 1. Evolve the living world for all players. Build on 2023 to deliver content regular for Dragonflight and Classic. Update and modernize your experience and quality of life in all WoW. Okay. 2. Deliver the first installment of our most ambitious story with the War Within. It's prepared to invite players for testing in the coming months, and we are working hard to deliver on the epic journey of our World Soul Saga. Yeah. 3. Try the new things and take risks to bring you new experiences. Our dev team is trying new approaches. Invention and creativity are critical to this ever-evolving world of Azeroth we craft for and with all of you. I'm down for that. Yeah, that's the way you used to do it in the Burning Crusade. Let's not play it safe, duders. Let's not play it safe. Try some shit. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. All that in mind, immediately ahead of us, we have the WoW Classic Season Discovery 2, which is tomorrow. For more details, go here. Wow, global release. Weird. You'll notice some new approaches mentioned here that we are trying out. And as always, we'll listen to feedback. New runes, new PvP experience, skill books, and more. WoW Classic Hardcore Self-Found Mode is coming late February. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's late February, is it? Okay. Followed shortly after by the beta for Kata Classic. More news on that coming soon. As many have noticed, this is the first period of time since Dragonflight launch we haven't had an active PTR, and we understand that it's creating some curiosity. For the 10.2.6 patch for Dragonflight, we created what we think is a unique event inspired by past musings from the community. We could say that it's open to anyone with a WoW subscription if they want to participate, Classic or Dragonflight players. Aren't they universal? That's all we're going to say. Sorry, not sorry. Our goal is to continue to keep it secret and keep it safe. The speculation is great. We watched the reaction to the surprise in Season's Discovery and thought that we'd try a similar but different approach in Dragonflight. That means no PTR for a portion of the next content update as we have traditionally done. Okay. What we can say is that it will be coming in March. A finer point, but the update will also include everything that's needed for Dragonflight Season 4, but will be hidden. Around and after the launch of the update, we will make Season 4 available for testing on a PTR before it goes live. What are you up to? Huh. It can't be something that's potentially annoying. They're not going to do something like a Scourge invasion again. I have to imagine it's coming before Season 4, so it's not related to World Soul Saga. One thing I will say is the 0.3 patch of this expansion doesn't seem to be letting things fly off the rails so far. Because Season 4 is not bringing anything that's going to allow that to happen. And that is traditionally what happens at the end of the expansion, is they let people go bananas. Either through ridiculous corruptions, or all the powers, or something. I've got to say, you've piqued my curiosity. Why are we doing this? We like the idea of releasing content that has surprises and isn't data mined or revealed in advance. We also like to see the joy of the community gets out of uncovering it all together as they all jump into play. We look forward to seeing if the community likes this type of surprise and look forward to hearing your feedback. This is a risky experiment and it could be a bit bumpy, though we are doing everything we can to ensure success. I would like... One of the things I pitched to Blizzard a while back over dinner was the big problem. I need to be careful here because... yeah, I can't talk about that. As I say, it was a discussion on certain ideas that they could do, but the risk of it being data mined kind of... yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. The WoW team prides itself on ensuring a solid quality launch. We are sensitive and reactive to problems and issues that can and might arise. So I hope you can forgive us if we experience some hiccups with this experiment and work alongside us as we try this out in March. All will be revealed then. I'm not blueballing you. I'm not saying this is my idea. I'm just saying we talked about a number of things that would be really cool, but the problem is data mining. And Blizzard's response was that data mining is never going away, but they need to find ways of the data miners being unable to tell what it is. That's as far as I'm going with that conversation. Not actually like the specifics of things they could do, which we talked about. Is like, you know, like, what about this, this, and this? But who knows what we'll get? I might be on completely the wrong track, which is fine. With gratitude and excitement for the new memories we create together, Holly Longdale. What's the response to this? Happy, I hope. This is all good. This is really good. Content without PTR. They have done... Oh, God. There has been a PTR for every single piece of World of Warcraft content since the Black Temple. I think the Black Temple was the first time they did it, and they've done it every single time since. I'm pretty sure it was the Black Temple was the first time they ever had a PTR, and they had a PTR for every single piece of content since then. Pretty sure. I'd have to check. I mean, I'm really digging into the bowels of the pink mushy thing in my cranium, but I'm pretty sure it was... We definitely had it for Sunwell, because I took part in the PTR testing of Sunwell. And Keldanas. I'm pretty sure the one before that was Black Temple. I'm 99% sure Black Temple was the first time we had a PTR, and they had it ever since for every single piece of content. 99% sure on that. Okay. What are they cooking? Yeah, whatever it is, hopefully they're cooking with gas and the results will be fun. This is a risk. Whatever they're doing, There's got to be so many people who don't like it. Which is always a problem with World of Warcraft, is it's always a problem. When they try something really out there and new, and it's not like self-contained off in a different area. Like Season of Discovery is fine because it's over there. Like I'm a guy who loved the Wrath of the Lich King event. I thought it was awesome. Like entire cities devastated and purged. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was cool. Yes, it was inconvenient. You couldn't go to the cities. But there was ways around it. You could go to different quieter cities and things were fine. But, like, people just... I always go to Orgrimmar. Like, the amount of habitual gameplay that's involved in World of Warcraft, and if you disrupt that, people just get so angry and so upset. They really do. It's almost, like, unfathomable that, like, these are adults playing a video game. What? Oh, that's... They've built this up now. You need to be careful, Blizz, because you're going to legendary ring this situation. They've built this up now, and now my imagination is firing on all cylinders. What I would like, and I think it would be cool, is if we do something like Fortnite does. I know everyone blah, 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 hate Fortnite, but Fortnite does its season changes extremely well. It's awesome. Where they have something happening that's happening over a period of time. Either something appearing in the sky, or some sort of event that keeps building and building over the days. I would love to see... Because Azeroth is a living, persistent world, I would absolutely adore to have something like that that's leading to... Ideally, it would be leading to the World Soul Saga. So something involving the sword would be interesting. The best way this could play out, in my mind, is it's patch day. The patch is live, and people don't immediately notice something. And then people scurry like rats on a ship across Azeroth. Something's happening somewhere. But where? Where is something happening? And that's when it gets fun, like a treasure hunt. It's like, something's happening, it's live, and the devs are doing Yoshi Smirk. And like, it's live, and it's live now for the next month or whatever, because they said Season 4's, the PTR for Season 4 will be coming up. So, whatever it is happening, and you don't just log in and you get the splash screen saying, hey, the Dragonflight Season of Wonderment has begun. Why don't you go here to find out what it is, like Brewfest or whatever, right? You don't want that. That's fucking garbage, right? That's absolute trash panda. What you want is, so what is it? I don't know, but it's here. Like when people notice the new moon in Ultima Thule, right? Like, I wouldn't ever notice that because I'm not attentive enough. But you want people to be like, that's not right. That's new. And they can do it. They did it by putting Argus into the sky. Like, we had that in the past. Like, you want those people to be like, that's not right. Something's changing. And something's happening. That actually makes me want to play Season 4, which I kind of denounced that I was going to do because I didn't want to just gear farm for a new expansion launch. Do they have the tech to stop the data miners? It looks like they're going with a different approach, which is just don't give them the stuff to data mine. But once it's out on the live servers, then you know that they'll be hackermanzing the whole thing to try and figure it out. I also wonder, another approach here that could be happening is this actually a test of their technology? Can we keep things hidden from data miners? This might be a twofold approach. One, we'll put something into the game that's like kind of fun and kind of silly that's not going to be affecting things. But do we have the ability to keep things fully encrypted from data miners? Because they can do that. We've had that with secret phases and stuff in the Race to the World First, is they have been able to remain encrypted. Even though the data miners can see there's something there, they don't know what it is. They have, because it doesn't unencrypt until a raid hits it, right? So we had that with like the N'Zoth secret phase. It didn't reveal itself until Liquid hit the marker, and then it unencrypted, and then people could see what it was. Yeah, the problem is, can they hide the traces of it? Because that's what the data miners find, right? Like, we had that with the jailer, is like changing spells that we hadn't seen on the fight yet. So there's more coming, right? There's more coming. It's pretty obvious. Like, yeah, obviously there's more to the fight if you're hotfixing and changing spells that we haven't even seen in the game yet. So that's the thing. But whether they try something like that is like, can we keep things hidden from the player base? And also, do we need a PTR? All the stuff about it being buggy and bumpy, I imagine because there's no PTR testing. I think that leans more to the fact that we've not put it on the PTR, so you guys are definitely going to do things that we don't expect, and something's not going to work, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. Because, I mean, we saw that as recently as the legendary, the Farak legendary, right? Mirez trying to complete that thing. It was a whole fucking... It was a whole state of mess for him to get through that quest in its original version. But they'd obviously not tested it and kept it hidden. So just need to drop the patch when the servers go down, let people data mine, but with 8 hours left to go, it'll be too much for people to care. I'm curious. I don't want to speculate too much in case we expect something way bigger than what it's going to be. Because for all we know, it might be just some fun spells that they're throwing into the game temporarily. So, I mean, it could be something not particularly lame, but less interesting. Is like, oh, wild magic has... The dragons have gained their powers back. Now wild dragon magic is running across Dragonflight, and now your Blade Storm is twice as wide. Or some shit like that, which is like, oh, that's kind of fun. But, you know... Or it could be something as cool as something's happening with the sword. Perhaps the sword is rising out of Azeroth. Something's pushing it back out. Voices are heard by the players, which is what we're seeing with Anduin and Thrall. And now there's some revelation that's leading towards the World Soul Saga. And all sorts of really cool things and weird and wonderful things happening. Dimensional tears are tearing their ways across Azeroth. There's Azerites pouring out, but you no longer need to collect it. I know, that's what I mean. You can't legendary ring it because it could go... It could be the pendulum could swing anywhere between that. Yeah, certainly with World of Warcraft, it can swing anywhere between that. I always thought it would be really funny. I actually wanted a boss fight where you randomly jumped into a different player in the raid. I can't remember who I spoke to at Blizzard about it, but they were like, dude, that would be horrible because people just cannot play anything other than their own class. I would like a boss that does wild magic and suddenly you're in your tank's character. And even if you gave simplified action bars, right? Or suddenly you've jumped into the mage, but you're a rogue and suddenly you're now playing the mage. I think that would be so fun. I think that'd be so fun if suddenly all the rogues ended up as the healers or something. Oh, it would be hilarious. It would be so fun. Yes, but I was there for Terran Gorefiend, where those ghosts had 3 spells, and most of the raid couldn't do it. I was there for Terran Gorefiend. I witnessed some players who I really thought were great players be completely unable to use 3 spells, and just collapse immediately at the sheer prospect of having to press Frost Nova, Ice Lance, and fucking Frostbolt, or whatever it was. And they couldn't do it. And it was just full shambles, man. It was full shambles. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I had to do it in my raid team. Even though I was the tank, I had to come in as a DPS prot warrior, where I just equipped 2 weapons and spammed Devastate in Berserker stance, just to have somebody else who could take care of the ghosts properly. Because I was so confused after I did it as to why people were struggling with this. I was like, I don't get it. You need to explain to me why this is hard. I don't understand. You literally just shoot the ghosts. It's really easy. I don't understand. But players just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it even with 3 buttons. Yeah, vehicle combat's the same way. People who couldn't do Malagos. People who couldn't do Flame Leviathan. I don't know what it was. They always blamed their UI. Because they got some sort of advanced UI technology going on that made it so that they couldn't see vehicle buttons and all sorts of weird shit. And it was just all a fucking mess from start to finish, man. It was all a fucking mess. I don't know. I don't know. I liked Flame Leviathan, but then again, I didn't have a completely dog shit UI that meant I could just press the fucking vehicle buttons. Oculus is one of the best, the quickest dungeons in the game. And people, yeah, I couldn't do it. I have to believe it's got something to do with the Dragonflights getting their powers back. Right? It has to be something to do with the dragon aspects getting their powers back. So we could get something with life magic. You don't think that's going to come up? It's the only big thing that's happened in the game since, right? Everybody else has moved on. Like, Tyrande and Malfurion are getting themselves a nice house in the woods with a nice white picket fence and just chilling. Ysera's left. She's gone back to Ardenweald. The only big thing that's really happened is Iridacron's, like, AFKing, right? Verinoth's, like, joined the council now, so there's barely any room at the top of Valdrakken. Yeah, they've retired. They've started a pension and all sorts of stuff. It's a pirate ship Vampire Survivors minigame that has Half-Life for 10 minutes. It's pirates and probably evergreen. Don't think it's story-related. You don't need Dragonflight to play it. Let me reread that then. It's for Dragonflight. We created what we think is a unique event inspired by past musings for the community. We could say that it's open to anyone with a WoW subscription if they want to participate. Classic or Dragon. So you think it's going to be a separate thing on the launcher? Yeah, or a special event server. So that means pre-made characters with potential copying. That's a really good point. Yeah. That's a good point. They're saying that if you're a classic player, you can come and do it. Oh, this makes a lot more sense now I look at it from this angle, because this is trying to encourage people to play retail who may be classic Andes. Huh. That would make some sense, actually. It's fun for the Dragonflight players and maybe for the classic onlys, because they are, obviously, the goal of the World Soul Saga is to bring a lot of people back. A WoW Fall Guys server? Unlikely. Could be something similar, but we just had that in FF14. I doubt there's a double crossover. Oh, the Uber Legendary Ring is an FF14 Dragonflight crossover. That would be dope. I know a lot of the WoW players would be so mad. Like, weeb games infesting, but I'm fucking down. I'm fucking down. I'm totally down. We know Yoshi P would be, like, interested in doing something like that. He's talked about Diablo a lot. Especially with Xalatath being in Classic. That's a good way to bring the two together. Yeah. A WoW Ultimate. It's too exclusive. Most players couldn't even cope with an Ultimate fight in World of Warcraft. Can you imagine if they release this event and it's for literally like 0.001% of the player base? It'd just be Liquid and Echo. And like the rest of the top 10 fighting against each other. Yeah, it wouldn't be something like that. It could be some sort of boss-related event. Oh, people would be so mad. It'd be like week 1 of the Mage Tower, where everyone was losing their fucking mind. It would be great watch content, but I think they'd want an announcement for that, and the guilds would want to be prepared for something like that. Would you want a 14 WoW crossover? Yeah. Of course. That'd be super fun. Even as a temporary thing. I could see them doing it with Hildebrand. Hildebrand would make the most sense. Or Khadgar. Maybe even Jaina just getting a portal wrong and ended up somewhere. But they wouldn't keep that secret. It'd be too much of a big deal. And also, the player bases... although there's been a lot more crossover of the player bases since the expansion that shall not be named, there's still some very hardcore extremes on either side of I'm not touching that one and I'm not touching the other one. No, that's not happening. Jaina and Limsa makes a lot of sense. She's the daughter of the sea. I imagine Merwib and Jaina would have some really good stories to share. That would be pretty cool. The Forbidden expansion. Yeah. Don't talk about it. Hildy just drops in and investigates Sylvanas' crimes. Okay, we should leave this alone because... I kind of see where you guys are coming from, that it's probably some sort of pre-made character process sandbox. That definitely feels like a sandbox situation, for sure. Considering it's open to anybody, so it's level agnostic at best, right? It's either pre-made characters or your level is irrelevant to take part. They'll scale you up or they'll do something. Because clearly, if it's open to people who just play classic... Because I was really confused about this wording. Because your WoW subscription covers both anyway. But this is saying that even if you don't have a retail character, you can come and play it. So, yeah, this is level agnostic at best. Or it's on a separate event realm where it's going to be happening. I hope they mess with timelines. My brain is going. I would like to see that. Yeah, level not relevant. Either scale you up or... What if it's Mega Torghast?
Mike is placing the tracks for his own hype train. Choo choo.
Could be. Could be Mega Torghast, right? I mean, we've seen Torghast powers out in the open world, kind of, down at the mage area. Well, it was really fun.
I remember we talked about this when Dragonflight came out.
Yeah.
Is that I had the idea for like a Torghast like time tower, where it would be like you can go back and kill old bosses and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They could do something timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. I would be surprised at this point if any MMO company isn't looking at DSR and going, we should really do some more stuff like that.
Yeah, like the fan response to that story.
Yeah.
Of that ultimate makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, DSR broke the mold, and if you're not looking at ways of doing that and playing around with that idea, I think you're being dumb.
Yeah.
I think you're being really fucking dumb. Daily Restaurant, we went back and fought 3 bosses back to back. Yep. DSR is one of the ultimates in 14 where you got to play around with an alternative timeline. Is all you generally need to know. So a World of Warcraft version would be something like Arthas doesn't call Stratholme, and it goes in what happens to the world if that happens, and they played it out in a boss fight, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It really, even people who weren't interested in watching raiding were totally invested because of how the story of the world played out in a different way throughout the fight. Yeah, Thrall doesn't cross the sea. All kinds of things like that.
Well, it'd be an extension like the Caverns of Time idea, right? It's like...
Yeah, Caverns of Time is a good prospect for it, but we've never seen Caverns of Time really do anything fun. It's been more like replay a story from the books, almost, right? Like Durnhold is like, let's relive Thrall's escape.
Well,
that kind of stuff.
Usually in that is that the Infinite are trying to stop an event happening.
Yeah, exactly. But gameplay-wise, it's play out a scenario.
That.
Like, were you there at the Battle of Mount Hyjal? They don't change the story. It's just you take part in an event that happened in history.
Like taking that idea and just going way further with it.
Yeah, way further. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah, that would be cool.